It's time for today's face-off on Fox Soul. Challengers Quan LX and Big Angry Adams, ready to go blow by blow on those hot topics. Face-off on Fox Soul starts right now.
You got caught cheating?
I did. I got caught cheating. I was living with this girl and came home, turned the light on, and the other girl I was dating was in the house with her.
I was like, I got the wrong apartment.
And they both was like this. Yeah, what you gonna do now? Yeah, and da-da-da. And
both of y'all out.
I sat there calm. I was cool as the Fonz. I sat there and was looking at both of them. And they did all they, what you gotta say now? What you gotta say now? And I was cool as ice. I just said, who gonna stay with me? Which one?
In this round, here's Charles Big Angry Adams.
I thought that was a somewhat absurd characterization. That was Dion Cole, obviously, and talking about on Club Shay Shay, talking about how he got caught. I guess the two women that he was seeing at the same time, one was a cohabiter, it sounded like, that his response was, well, which one of y'all going to step up and stay?
That was selfish on his part.
That seems like an incredibly heartless response.
It was selfish.
And suggests that he doesn't love either of them and is using them both. And he seemed proud of it. And, I
think it would have been very important for the brother to acknowledge to both of them that I am wrong, that I've made mistakes in this relationship with both of you all. And
it didn't seem he was capable of that level of introspection.
He's capable, because if you're capable of lying, you're capable of telling the truth. Just hold yourself accountable. But what he should have done was say, listen, to both of the women, it's obviously that you two work together and you reason together that you will collaborate in an effort to bring me into this home secretly, to check me, correct me, and expose me. The mere fact that you all had a meeting of the minds to work together like that, why don't we take this a step further and let us all three work together and be together? Because obviously, I love both of y'all. Obviously, y'all can work together. Now, what y'all need to do is allow the meat to stay between both buns. And let's make sure that we can now grow together, evolve together. Don't say to the women, well, look, which one of y'all gonna stay with me? No, let me be a better man to both of y'all. Let me be a better lover to both of you all. Why get rid of one?
Quanell, this is why I like doing TV with you, because I never know what ideological or moral curveball I'm going to get from you. You love to talk about morality and religion and your Muslim faith and Christianity and how people should act, but when you also get the opportunity to talk about a guy that's been running around on his, at the very least, live-in girlfriend, your response is they should just have a menage a trois.
I did not say that. I said corrective action plan. And remember, the Bible says, want for others what you want for yourself. Do unto others what you want done unto you. Look, he ain't doing nothing to both of them that he don't want both of them to do to him. He don't want for them what he don't want for himself. Look, he's being selfish to say I can only have him with one of y'all. When both of them know they've been with him, both of them probably care for him, both of them realize that they need to deal with him, accept his punishment, but both of y'all chastise me at the same time. Y'all just spank the hell out of me at the same time, because I know you're doing it out of love.
Okay, so instead of criticizing Dion Cole, not only for his behavior, right, which men and women, plenty of people cheat, plenty of people make mistakes. I'm not criticizing Dion Cole.
And that way he can stop cheating.
Okay, you think that if he got both of them for a menage a trois situation, he wouldn't stop running around on two of them?
No.
What I'm criticizing Dion Cole for
stop lying.
Is his,
stop cheating.
What I thought
and turn it into a blessed union.
Bravado of him saying, "Oh, well, I'm so cool. I just told one of them to pick which one's staying with me."
That's
lily white
and that's wrong.
Butt,
and that's
right?
Selfish.
No.
That's wrong. He needs to apologize.
I doubt that's what happened.
Admit his wrong.
I bet
his failure.
I bet the truth is
admit his shortcomings.
that Dion went crying to each of them separately, trying to save the situation.
But
While
guess
he's over
what,
here
though?
trying to act like he's
Ain't
off
nothing
the
wrong with
chart,
crying and
trying to
correction.
get on Club Shay Shay, act like,
Charles.
Sydney, I told them both.
There's nothing wrong with crying and correction.
Because I'm the barely known
No.
weak comedian that I'm on
Charles.
here bragging like I know.
Charles,
No,
look,
that was nonsense. Absolute nonsense.
Charles, he should have stepped up and said, listen.
I doubt the situation beyond the two women discovering it
Charles,
happened.
he should have stood up and apologized and said, can we hug this out? Can we just hug this out?
What maybe he should have done was not go on a podcast looking to tell these fanciful stories of bragging. You know,
He's not bragging. He's admitting his shortcomings, Charles.
he absolutely
He could have got up, apologized, hugged them both, and said, forgive me, and say, I apologize, baby. I apologize, baby. I love you, and I love you too, baby. What y'all want for dinner?
I promise you one of the...
I'm cooking for y'all tonight.
I promise you he truly cared about one of those women, and he was crying and whining like a little baby, trying to get them to forgive him.
He should cry. He was wrong.
Right? But but you're acting like he's not wrong. He was
I didn't say
absolutely
that.
wrong.
I said he's wrong. He should apologize, but he has to implement a corrective action plan that does not abandon either one of them. Why should he abandon one of them like that? Don't abandon either one of them. Love can be spreaded.
Okay, so now, just for the record, you are into polyamory. So what if one of them wanted to have two partners?
Two partners, we mean?
What if one of Dion's girlfriends wanted to have another man at the same time?
And you know what he should do?
What?
Bitch, you lost your damn mind. Who are you talking to?
So why
you
is
better
it
get
different?
your ass up out of here.
So
Talking about you want to have what?
Well, so why is it different?
What do you mean?
Why is it different?
Well, remember, Abraham had more than one wife.
Okay.
Solomon had plenty of wives.
Okay.
All the prophets of the Bible had more than one wife.
Okay, so what you're saying is...
So what I'm saying is a man by nature was made to be a guardian of more than just woman if necessary. But a woman by nature was not more to be embedded by multiple different men.
That sounds like rank hypocrisy to me.
No, it's not, Charles. Even God permitted the prophets to have more than one wife.
Okay.
And God knows best.
Okay. So
he knows best.
So you and Dion, y'all were just trying to get right with God by having multiple partners.
No, he needs to repent. He needs to apologize. But don't come up with a solution that abandons either one of them.
Okay, this is absolutely absurd.
And are like, wow. They're like the older women, they wow now, Jack. Oh, the ones that been married for 30 years, 20 years, finally divorced, ain't had nobody else but him. Oh, they out here. They out here strong. They like, yeah, oh yeah, they out here like, wow.
In this round, here's Quanell X.
Charles, we just watched the podcast of Club Shay Shay where Shannon Sharpe was interviewing one of our comedic brothers, actors, etc., who was talking about dating divorced women. And he was talking about how wild divorced women are. And sad to say, Charles, a lot of what he was saying is true because
why is that sad to say?
I'm going to tell you why it's sad to say. Because a lot of divorced women have been stuck in so many bad marriages that when they finally get out of their relationship, it's like they've been freed from a caged environment and they just kind of go buck wild. And then a lot of men who know that a woman just went through a divorce and she's fragile, exploit it and take advantage of it. And then with the woman who has not been in the dating scene for so many years, a woman been off the dating scene for 20 years, 25 years, she's got all type of insecurities, all kind of subconscious issues to where she's not sure if she's even attractive anymore like she once was. And then that woman winds up getting involved in relationships with multiple different men because she's already coming out of a traumatic divorce, a traumatic environment. This happens more than what you think, Charles. And then what takes place is the woman thinks that she has to compete with the younger women and do the same things that the younger single women are doing just to remain attractive to the men that she finds attractive. It's sad, but a lot of what that man said is true, Charles.
I think it's a sadder, the statistics on divorce are a sadder indictment of our country. I don't think it is all sad if that women want to go out after they've been left or if they've left a relationship that didn't work for them and they want to go experience some sexual freedom. I don't know. It sounds like Dion Cole, the comedian, that he was supportive of it, that he was benefiting from it, that he was enjoying the fruits of their
he was taking advantage, like most men do, of women who've been in traumatic marriages for a long time and now don't have a clue what's going on in the single world.
Okay, if the woman enjoyed it and he enjoyed it, was anyone being taken advantage of?
No, not at all.
Now, if he was,
but let me say this:
lying and
most men
him and acting like he had real affection for him,
Charles,
but was just hitting it and quitting.
Let me say this:
then that's all different story.
Most men that date married women, or most men that date women recently divorced, lie to those women very well. They don't want to marry those women. They don't want to have a committed relationship with those women. Some of the biggest lies told to a married woman is by the ignominious man she chose to cheat on her husband with. Because all of a sudden when you with your husband, he's one way. The minute you leave your husband, he completely flips because he doesn't want the responsibility that your husband once had to be accountable to you. Women have been played like this. Men too. The man leaves his wife. She's been faithful to him. He meets some little young hot thing, and she makes him believe he's the next best thing since sliced bread. And he leaves his wife, want to hook up with her, and all of a sudden now you see him 2 months later. He walking down the street with no shirt on, barefooted, with shoestrings holding up his britches because he lost his damn mind. Charles, this is happening a lot in our society.
Okay, yeah, because people don't stick with things anymore, right? And it's a different culture. Like I have obviously lawyers and cops and famous people, my 3 friend groups.
And you said lawyers and cops, some of the biggest hope mongers on the planet.
Lots of divorces, lots of remarriages, lots of people my age, single, still having kids at my age. You know, and they talk about how everything's on the apps and everybody, it's just all this just constant. You know, if you look at STDs for elderly people nowadays, it's completely out of control.
That's because of Viagra.
But no, I think a lot
now,
of...
once Viagra came into the game, them old men got buck wild. Once Viagra came back to the game, you had 75-year-old men going back to the club. You had 80-year-olds taking the walker getting back to the club, but they had a whole bottle of Viagra with his whole Social Security check. I mean, so look, Charles, hey, man, let me tell you something, brother. Viagra increased the STD rate.
Right. I think you have a lack of commitment, but I don't criticize women for going out and having the same kind of fun that men are having. Why is it wrong for the divorced woman, but not wrong for Dion Cole?
Let me tell you, I'm not saying that.
I think the real issue is men lying to women to get in them britches.
More often, the divorced woman, listen to me now, more often and more than likely, the divorced woman has the children with her. So the divorced man is gone. He's on his own, but that divorced woman, 9 times out of 10, keeps the children with her.
I mean, typically,
so she's having this fun with different men, but at the end of the day, she's being exploited. She's being used.
I mean, here's the thing. Firstly, I don't necessarily think she's being. I think your very basic concept of womanhood. But he's talking about women, in his comments were about women that have been married 20, 30 years.
Have you ever in your life dated a divorced woman?
No, I got married young.
I have.
Okay.
I have in my life.
And I'm still married.
Dated divorced women. Praise be to God. Congratulations. But I've experienced a few divorced women in my time.
Okay. What were you saying with your little glasses, your little Cartier pull down there? What are you saying? You saying Dion's right?
Let me tell you something.
A lady in the streets, a freak in the sheets? What are we saying?
You take a divorced woman who just recently got out of a marriage.
Well, she's probably been repressed.
She come in that bedroom.
She's probably trying to
She come in that bedroom, she'll build a castle out of a single grain of sand.
Well, here's a question.
I've seen divorced women come in that bedroom and make a ship sail on dry land, brother.
Okay, can I ask you a question, though? For those divorced women, did you lie to them and say you cared about them and you wanted a serious relationship, or were y'all both just knocking the boots?
Sometime we were knocking the boots, and sometime I was lying like hell.
Okay, and to the ones you weren't being a scumbag liar to.
Hold on, wait a minute. No, stop.
Hold on.
No.
No, but let's talk about
we
the women.
lying to one another.
But let's talk about.
We lying to one another.
Hold on. Let's talk about the ones where
I'm telling her, I like you too, baby. I'm really into you, baby. And she telling me, you're the only one. You're the only one. We lie to each other.
You're making some assumptions. But let's talk about the women who were just knocking boots, who were there for the same physical pleasures that you were.
Right.
What's wrong with that? Why are you judging them?
I'm not judging that woman.
Okay,
I'm only saying that
like
woman.
Why aren't you judging yourself?
But the subject
Quanell?
here was about divorced mothers.
Well, how is it different?
But no, the subject
how
here
is you
on
getting
the
around
podcast
different
was
from her
about
getting
divorced
around?
women and their sexual prowess
Okay.
when they leave marriages that they've been a part of for a long time.
Okay, but
so that's what we're discussing.
But don't you think that they had developed a sexual prowess during their lengthy marriage?
Hell no.
Why not?
Let me tell you something. Do you know how many married men, if they could tell the truth right now, would publicly tell you they got to make an appointment with their wife that they live with every day for a piece of poontang pie? I've talked to men who've been married 15 years, 10 years, 20 years, and the wife only give him some once a month. I've talked to men who only get it on their birthdays and on Christmas night. That's a damn
and you think
shame.
These women change when they get single?
A lot of women change when they get married. And a lot of women sure as hell change after a divorce.
Well, but a lot of men change when they get married as well.
Look, Charles.
And there are peaks and valleys in
married men will tell you sex is not the same after 10 years with your wife, 5 years with your wife.
Not all married men. I mean, that's really the problem. If you have a partner,
you talking like you're a Viking now, huh?
What do you mean?
You talking like you're a Viking, huh?
Oh, well, there's no
you
problems.
You talking like it's 4th and 1 on the goal line.
There ain't no problems in my house.
Anyway,
right?
Like what I'm saying, Charles, we got to
thing.
understand, man, that a lot of men who are married, they don't get sex like they once did.
But there are a lot of men who are married.
She gave it to him every day when they were dating. But once they get married, he can't get none.
Who aren't putting the effort to get that sex either.
When they was dating, she gave it to him all the time.
You ain't entitled to it.
I say about 9 came up to her. Hey, Steph. She like this. Oh, hey. Ah. What? Anyway, so then this one came put his hands behind her eyes.
Dude, come on.
I'm sitting at the table looking like, and she like this. Who is this? Then he was like, and she was like, Marcus. Ah.
Damn.
Dude, every in the place knew her.
So she a regular.
Regular. I'm like this, and she must bring her men there all the time.
Yeah.
I was like this. No. I'm never going out with nobody until I know them. I'm not meeting them out in public trying to get to meet them. We gonna meet, and then that's it. You know what I mean?
Back to the room, though.
Man.
You know, Quanell, this is again DR Cole. I don't know why Matt decided to devote a whole show to some comedian that ain't all that funny and I ain't never really heard of outside of stand-up performances, but we did. And his incredibly entitled, sexist, inflated ego, opinion of himself. But he's talking about how he on a date with a woman where her friends come up and talk to her as if it's a negative. And Shannon was right, celebrating it all. You know, Shannon, I don't know, Shannon, an interesting fella. I met him one time in L.A., very, very well dressed, right? But he, you know, it seemed like just two guys trying to act like they're the biggest studs in the room. Shannon famously just—
These were male friends
just made it.
coming up to the woman at dinner, not female friends.
I don't care. And Shannon just accidentally live streamed him getting with it, right? Wasn't that him just a few weeks ago?
Him and Michelle.
Yeah. How on earth do you accidentally live stream something? That was just him trying to convince the world that he's serious about women. And I feel like these conversations were the same thing, right? This is just two men talking about women as if they were less than, or as if somehow because she had female friends, she
male friends. These were male friends they're talking about.
Right, male friends, that she should have a scarlet letter of some sort, or that she wasn't a good match for him because she got friends. Hey, you know, grown adults can have friends,
let me say
male
this to
and
you,
female.
man. Let's stop it.
Absolute nonsense.
Let's stop it, Charles.
Come on.
If you go to a night spot, club, bar, hookah lounge, places that you all like to go that I never would go, but you go, and you take a woman to a bar, and all the men know her, all the men
maybe she hangs out at that bar.
All the men coming up speaking to her, and some of the men feel so comfortable while you at dinner with her, they walk up and put their hands over her eyes. Hey, baby, how you doing, honey? Guess who this is? Look, man, let me tell a man something. Be very careful about falling in love with women that have been very promiscuous with multiple different men. The same thing for a female. Be very careful about getting with a man that's been involved with multiple different females. Look, A man that falls in love or decides to get into a committed relationship with a female that before him she was community coochie, he's a damn fool. Because at the end of the day, all it takes is one argument, one disagreement, one financial fight between the two of you all, and she gravitates back to what she's always known, what she's comfortable with. The same thing for a man also. I don't want to be with no woman that every man done been with. I'm sorry.
Okay, and I get that perspective. That is a perspective that a lot of people have, and I don't disagree with it. But on the flip side, you're also making a assumption that simply because she has male friends or people know her and come talk to her, that somehow she gets around a lot. And I don't think that math checks out. I think people can be outgoing, they can be friendly people, they can talk to a lot of people, and it doesn't mean they're sleeping with everybody. Now, I will say in this culture, we're a couple old men, that it is very much a hookup culture now with the younger generations. It's very different, and our elderly perspective is probably somewhat dated, but I don't think you can make the assumption, as both Shannon and Dion were making, that just because a woman has a lot of people greet her, that somehow she's less than or trash or a slut.
Any man that gets with a woman that has been very promiscuous in her life.
But you're assuming she's been promiscuous.
I'm not listening to what I'm saying, Charles.
To her.
Any man that gets into a serious relationship with a woman that's been very promiscuous, that man has to understand, whether she tells you this or not, a woman who's been sexually promiscuous, when you're intimate with that woman at a certain point of you all's relationship, she'll be physically in bed with you, but in her mind thinking about him. There's a song, Charles.
How do you know that?
Listen to me,
do you
Charles.
do that all the way?
Charles, listen to me, Charles.
Apparently slept with a bunch
Charles.
of women.
There's a song called
when you sleep
Your
with a new
Body
woman?
Is Here With Me, but your mind's on the other side of town messing me around. Charles, it is true that even men who've been with multiple women can get with a good woman, but think about another woman sexually when they with that woman, because she's not as freaky as the one they've been with.
Viewpoint. That's just me.
That's it for the Face Off on Fox Soul. We'll catch you next time.